I'm here in Garden City on Pine Avenue, close by 2nd, and we had to stop traveling down this road because, as you can see behind me, a giant tree has crashed onto the road, blocking the entire road. But if you look over here over my shoulder, an entire wall of the Palace Theater has been blown off by these massive winds. We're here in Garden City on Elizabeth Drive, where the storm surge has come over the road and somebody's now trying to drive through the storm surge. This is exactly what authorities do not want you to do. Here in Briarcliff, the lights are still out just like they are for thousands of other people in the Grand Strand and PD. Santee Cooper is working around the clock. They're having people pull double shifts so that they can get the power restored as quickly as possible. Officials from Santee Cooper say that they're going to have more power back to more people hour by hour, and they estimate that the majority of their customers will have power back by Friday evening. Now, in the meantime, in this neighborhood at least, people are walking around at night with flashlights, and people who have generators are lending their generators to other people so that they can do things like charge their iPads or cell phones so that they can read and stay connected with their families. Reporting in Myrtle Beach, I'm Eric Traphagen, WMBF News.
Eric Traphagen is live at the Surfside Pier for us now and spoke with those who will miss him most, including the young man's father. Eric.
Lisa, tonight more than 400 people came together here at the Surfside Pier to light candles and hang laces to remember someone they all saw as a leader, someone who without a doubt will be missed. After already losing a student in a wreck on Bay Road earlier in the week, now students, teachers, and coaches remember Aiden Kiahi Mendoza, a great runner and leader.
He was definitely a leader. He was always somebody that could push us to do better. He was always that person that ran with us, would be like, come on guys, you got this.
He was the guy that brought our team together. He was captain for the past 2 years, and he really had a way of bringing people up.
Mendoza was the anchor of the Saukesty cross-country team. From goofing off with the team,
we had this thing where if you did the most fundraising, you'd be the first off the bus, and he'd always be that first one.
To setting and achieving goals.
He was very dedicated, very determined runner, very gifted. He had set goals and he worked towards them. And actually this year, his senior year, he achieved everything I think that he wanted to do this year.
His peers say Mendoza set the standard for who a teammate and a leader is. If there's a testament to his character, it's in the number of people who came to his vigil. More than 450 candles were purchased and handed out here. But even with this much support, the emotion of losing his son was too much for Mendoza's father.
I just want to say, I love him. We all love him. And today we're going to celebrate and we're going to show God how much we loved him. Because he's not mine anymore.
I don't know, him as a whole, it's weird to think that he's just gone.
As is Hawaiian tradition, family and friends released lanterns into the ocean night in Mendoza's memory. He had a scholarship to run at Anderson University. His coaches say he was learning to play tennis to get another scholarship to pay for college. Reporting in Surfside Beach, Eric Traphagen, WMBF News.
It's our top story tonight, a homicide outside of Conway, and one family that is describing their day as something they wouldn't dream of happening. WMBF News reporter Eric Traphagen spoke with them earlier this evening and is here now with more.
It's the last thing you want to have to plan in the month of December, a funeral. And that's exactly what one family is forced to do after a shooting earlier this afternoon. A family is in grief tonight after a man was discovered dead in his home by his own son. The man had been shot to death.
For my son to have to find his father like that, it just feels like a dream, just feels like a dream.
Cecilia Glover, the victim's sister, can't understand why this happened.
He was laying on the floor face down. Apparently somebody kicked his door in because the door wasn't locked. Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't bother anybody.
Renetta Great, the victim's fiance, drove to his house outside Conway earlier today. She was with both his and her children, who entered the house to see their father before they left town for a seminar. The victim had not been answering calls or texts all day, which Great says is unusual behavior for him. It wasn't until his son ran out of the house screaming that Great realized something was wrong.
I got out, me and my daughter, and I went and I pushed the door open. And he was laying face down in a pool of blood.
Just hours before these events unfolded, this family was making Christmas plans. Now, their Christmas has been ruined.
I saw where my daughter must have been texting around 8. You know, they were talking about Christmas and what they're going to do for Christmas.
Whoever done this to y'all did not have to do that. You could have just took whatever you wanted. You didn't have to do that.
Family members on scene say they've seen this sort of thing happen on TV before, but never thought it would happen to them. They say nothing could prepare them to deal with a loss like this at a time like this. Horry County Police say the shooting happened around 1:45 this afternoon. They are investigating this as a homicide.
Good evening, and thank you for staying up late with us here tonight. I'm Caitlin Stansel.
Michael Maley. We just finished, of course, watching the Panthers-Saints game. There was another game, though, going on tonight, the first home Thursday night football game in Coastal Carolina's history.
WMBF News reporter Eric Traphagen was with many people in the CCU community who were excited about the changes and the success in coastal sports that is happening right now.
CCU! Interns with the football team took recruits around campus before the game today. They had plenty to brag about.
All of our sports teams have moved up in the Sun Belt and already have pretty good success. As the football staff, we're just excited and we can't wait to move up in the Sun Belt and see what we can do against better and bigger components. So
the entire CCU sports community is full of life this fall. Next season, CCU football will see more weeknight football games when they start competing in the Sun Belt Conference.
It's going to be tremendous because moving up into this new conference and whatnot, we'll be having new competition. We're going to get a bigger stadium. We're going to have a lot new recruitment and whatnot. So I think that getting that bigger program is going to really raise our enrollment and really get us a lot better recruits throughout the United States.
A lot of this excitement is spilling over from this past spring when CCU baseball won the College World Series. On this historic night of football, the baseball team was honored during halftime.
My dad played baseball here. He's a Coastal Carolina alumni, so the College World Series in our house is huge anyway, so that when Coastal made it, and like my mom played softball here and that's how they met, it was literally like they were in tears. They were like so happy and like it was like the best day of their lives.
There's not a tradition of Thursday night football at CCU, but that hasn't stopped students and alumni from coming out this Thursday and doing some tailgating. In fact, it may have encouraged it. As students, alumni, faculty, everyone in the CCU community has come out, taken some time away from their weekly schedule, celebrate some Thursday night CCU football.
got a little flame up in there.
The energy has spread through the CCU community like wildfire. Like to this man whose wife went to CCU. He created the van of every tailgater's dream, complete with widescreens, speakers, and covered in coastal graphics.
So we started looking for this van 6 months ago, and one of our local dealers found it for us, and we've had a lot of local input into the van and getting it wrapped and getting it fixed up, and we love it. We just think it just adds another layer to our Coastal Carolina tailgating.
Next year, CCU football is going to be competing in the Sun Belt, and they'll be College Bowl eligible. From students to alumni, people throughout CCU are excited about the future of CCU sports. Reporting at Coastal Carolina University, I'm Eric Traphagen, WMBF News.